Hello, guys. It's Mojo at Mojo Returns. I'm just doing a quick podcast here or just a quick video, I guess would be a better way of saying it. I just noticed that YouTube has banned Sam Tripoli's site. So if you do a search for Sam Tripoli, you get shows that he's been a guest on, but you no longer get the tinfoil hat show. And if you plug in things like tinfoil hat with Sam Tripoli, you get some of the old stuff from that was published when he first launched the show under All Things Comedy, but you don't actually get his actual site page, which is pretty interesting that they would ban him. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Now, here appears to be a playlist, and here's something with 2 months. So let's go here and open this up. And then you see the video is no longer available because the YouTube account associated with this video has been terminated. So anything with Sam Tripoli currently is terminated. So you can see that the account has been terminated due to multiple or severe violations of YouTube's policy against spam, deceptive practices, and misleading content or other terms of service violations. Now, I don't know what that means in terms of what they're referencing, because I don't know what Sam's channel has received in terms of notifications from YouTube regarding the channel's content. So I don't know if there were things that were left on the table that needed a response or something. But I find it very odd that they would ban his channel, because his channel is primarily him interviewing other folks that look into all kinds of weird things, right? All kinds of weird strangeness, as it were. Some of his shows are political in nature. Some of his shows are, comical. Some of his shows are, what's the right word for it? Mythical, I guess would be the correct word for it, where, he's talking about things like skinwalkers and stuff like that. So his show is basically a variety of different topics, all obviously gravitating towards a particular audience, those with an interest in the weird strangeness, as it were. So I checked on his Twitter feed, and I haven't checked Instagram yet, but I didn't see anything from Sam Tripoli in relation to him responding to his channel being banned. So this must be something that just happened today. I'll be honest, I haven't checked his page this week, so I'm not sure when it actually got delisted from YouTube, but I did go to it today being Thursday, November 21st, and I couldn't get access to it. So let me just check his Instagram. I guess he's probably working in the back end to see what's going on. I also checked XG Marks the Spots page. But so far they haven't put out anything in terms of their show being canceled or their YouTube channel being canceled. So I'm really hoping that they can work with the YouTube creator community and get that undone. I don't see any reason that his show should be pulled when it is just presenting, ideas. It's not like, he's actively creating the so-called content that they may have flagged his channel for. Anything deceptive practices or misleading content. I haven't found that in any of his shows. Now, he has guests on there that he may or may not disagree with, and when he doesn't agree with them, he lets them know. It's not like he hides his opinions. So I do find it a little odd that they targeted his show for banning. We can check some of the other people here and see if they're still rocking and rolling, or if this is something bigger. Hopefully not. So it looks like Red Pill's still cool. These are some of the guests. I don't really watch these guys' channels specifically. I'm only aware of them through Sam Tripoli's channel. And I do know that the guys at Edge of Wonder have been experiencing some censorship themselves. Here's actually a video on it, censorship proof. That might be worth checking out. But it looks like those are up. So it's really strange that they would target Sam Tripoli's. Not that I want them to target these guys either. I don't think they should be targeting any of these people who are just out there trying to get information out, on a creative platform. Those who are creating content for those people who are interested in said content. And so it's really bizarre that Sam has gotten taken out. I know that you can still get his audio podcast. If you put in tinfoil hat, that might help. So here it is. Listen via Stitcher. Listen on SoundCloud. I don't know if he has it streamed up on his site. To be honest, I've not done much with his website. But I did check it out in terms of if you could actually view the videos. And if you go to the YouTube page, boop. Oh my goodness. This page isn't available. So there's that, 404. So even going back and looking at some of these historical podcasts, you won't be able to get them with video. Now, the good thing about Sam's site is it does have the audio. So you can listen to it on the SoundCloud and at least get an audio version for now. Now, I cruised over to Vimeo just to see if he had an account there, and I wasn't able to find one, so I'm hoping that they might take advantage of Vimeo and, start putting at least their most current stuff up until they can figure out what they're doing. They can also do it on their website, too. But, yeah, I don't see that he has any kind of Vimeo presence at all. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't appear. He's got his comedy special up there, so if you guys want to watch that. And he's got some appearances, but he doesn't actually have a channel that he's designated yet for doing his podcast. And I believe you can go to his Patreon and you might be able to watch some of this stuff too. I don't know. I'm not involved in Patreon right now. I hope to get something like that going, but it does stress the importance that even if you do get this stuff going, in terms of the main consumption platform, most people know YouTube, and it's clear that there's there's something going on here why they're targeting Sam. You know, he certainly doesn't have, or at least he didn't have, the subscriber count that some of these other shows that are still there. Not talking specifically about the two I just showed there, but some of his guests that he's had on have pretty good followings and large subscriber counts. You know, on par, equal to what he had on his YouTube channel, or in some cases actually more than what he had on his channel. So, like I said, I just wanted to do this real quick video because I was just shocked when I came and saw that his video or his channel had been pulled. So I'm hoping he'll get something out soon as to what's going on there, what he's got in the works. Again, I'm just tripping out on this, so forgive me, but and it is exactly what I talked about in my video related to the ITV censorship. You know, there's just something going on right now where it's clear that, you know, places where people can get a option to what is currently our spoon-fed media are being targeted. You know, Sam had mentioned it in a couple of his podcasts that he felt that the knives were out for him, so to speak. I don't know if he used that exact language, but he did say they're coming for him or something similar to that effect. And, you know, I thought that, you know, that he was being facetious and just like, we're hot, you know, they're going to be coming for us. But it looks like there may have been more going on behind the scenes than we originally knew, or at least I originally knew, related to the Tinfoil Hat podcast and YouTube's current assessment of its placement within its platform. So it's really strange. I really hope that they can work it out with YouTube. You know, I don't think that YouTube should be picking sides like this when it comes to content. You know, they've got plenty of adult themed shows that just don't cover anything related to politics. And it seems to be that the shows that are covering anything political or anything controversial, as it relates just to the political space, are being targeted. And I find that completely odd, you know, and not don a conspirator's hat or to put myself as a conspiracy theorist, even though I'm not opposed to receiving that label. Who cares? You know, if you want to call me a conspiracy theorist, okay, but you know, at least I'm out there thinking for myself there, buddy. What are you doing? You know, at least a theorist is someone that's theorizing about something rather than just, you know, as Eleven put it from Stranger Things, being a mouth breather. So yeah, this is really, really odd. I'm really curious as to what Sam's response is going to be and when he's going to issue a statement on this. But I did want to get this out because, you know, for any fans out there of the show, which I most certainly am, please reach out to YouTube and see if, you know, we can, or maybe we should wait. Maybe we should hold off on that and wait for Sam to release a statement. But, you know, if he needs us to, you know, we could certainly petition for YouTube to reinstill his account. I think, you know, that this termination is completely overblown. I haven't seen anything, you know, at most he needs to make sure that he is labeling his shows for mature audiences. Again, there's much more shows out there that that don't have that label, that are much more mature than anything I've seen on Sam's show. I'd give Sam's show a PG-13 rating tops. Where some stuff I'm sure don't have the mature content only setting, and are free to roam because it's just their topics aren't dealing with anything in the political space. And so I'm kind of beating a dead horse here about this just seeming to be completely out of bounds and unfair. But I sent a note. I had a copyright issue, and I sent a note, and hopefully this isn't just due to lack of response. Sam seems like he's got it pretty well together. But he did get involved with building a new studio. So, maybe with the hubbub of the studio or something, he missed something that he needed to respond to. It can happen. I hope that's what happened. But again, just wanted to get this out and let you know what's going on in terms of them canceling the Sam Tripoli's channel, which had all his tinfoil hat podcasts on there. Again, you can review the tinfoil hat podcast on SoundCloud. So let's bring that up here. Where did I have that? Yeah, here we go. So you can go here to the SoundCloud and listen to the audio. It's audio only. You might also be able to go over to his Patreon and listen to the podcast there as well. I don't know why the numbers are off a little bit, but maybe that's just something, how it sorts it. But yeah, so if you are looking for your tinfoil hat fix and you need it, you can get the audio here on SoundCloud. Maybe Sam can start moving at least his most current videos over to Vimeo, which would be pretty cool. It looks like he does have a channel here. It is showing 0 videos, so I don't know what's going on there either. I just noticed that. So hopefully you haven't been canceled off of Vimeo either. No, okay, that's just poor poor load pages, or page loads, poor page loads. I was a bit slow there, but let's see. It does say 0 videos. That's interesting. I don't know what's going on there. I have to log in to follow him. I'll log in and follow you here in a second, Sam. But yeah, if you're listening to this, brother, get some stuff out on Vimeo while you figure out what's going on with YouTube. But looking forward to your response. And if anybody in the community has any information about this, please let me know. If there's any other similar creators that are experiencing this issue as of this week, let me know. I'd be happy to do a quick video and shout those folks out so that we can bring some awareness to this. I think things like this really do require sunlight in order for them to be resolved appropriately, and with all parties' best interests in mind. I don't think YouTube would have just slammed him for no reason that hard, like just to turn him off that quick. So I'm hoping it was just something like an oversight where they had requested some information or something and just didn't receive it in the timeline that they had requested it in. And maybe that can be corrected by just getting whatever they need back over there. But this is a pretty scary precedent, I must say. This is something that the tech community had experienced. If you followed any of the tech shows or the reviewer shows, I guess not necessarily tech shows, but reviewer shows about gear, they had this issue where the YouTube creators were having demonetization. I think it was called. I forget the name, but it was something like Demonageddon or something. I don't remember. It didn't affect me that much, so I just made a note of it and noticed that a lot of the creators were losing a lot of their previous wealth due to the changes in the algorithm and things like that. And a lot of people didn't know why, and I knew why. They just didn't want to pay that money. It wasn't no Scooby-Doo mystery. It wasn't. In that case, it ain't a super conspiracy. It's that they wanted to hang on to more of their, well, not really their money. They wanted to hang on to more of the money, and take more away from the creators. Which that's how some of the people in business roll. It's not good enough that they're making hand over fist money. They need to make that much more money, and so they just did all that stuff to stop paying out as much. I mean, that's really what it was. It had nothing to do with advertisers getting upset or any of that. They just didn't want to pay, and at least that's my take on it. And I've worked enough in business to know that that's usually the case. It's not a grand conspiracy. It's just greedy people, and that's what businesses are. They are greedy. They answer to the shareholder. They have legal obligations, right? This whole entity structure that's set up for business provides a vehicle. The reason you don't see a lot of executives who do these corporate crimes serve any time is because they are fulfilling their role as required by the entity to protect shareholder interest. And you can argue that however you want, but at that point, their goal is to bring more money in, and you get what I call the Walmart managers, which are just the low-level psychopaths, the one-trick ponies, low-level sociopaths, whatever you want to call them, but they're really one-trick ponies. And grift is the only thing that they know, grift and abuse, and that's it. That's how they roll. So they'll come in and they'll do things like you're seeing in organizations right now where they're taking people's trash cans away, right, just to demean them and let them know, hey, you step up and we'll punish you, right? It's that punishment motif. You're not even worth us giving you a trash can. That's just how those people are. They're straight psychopaths and sociopaths, and what they do doesn't make any sense unless you look at it from that lens. They're not taking the trash cans away at work to just save money. That's one of the guises of it, but it's also to abuse you, right? It's also to make you feel less worth, and make you feel like you don't have a voice, and it also gives them an extra bit of money saving. So it's a double play. It's abuse, and grift at the same time. And that's all these guys do. It's your classic sociopath and classic psychopath. But they're the low level ones, right? These are the ones that just really don't have any real vision. They don't have anything except this just 1-2 playbook of abuse and theft. So in that regard, it could be that we're seeing some of that now. Some of the leadership in YouTube could have changed, and we just got Walmart managers as part of the YouTube leadership, these one-trick ponies, right? So, but I'm hoping that's not the case, and this is just something more algorithmic where, Sam can get back on the channel. So I hope we hear something from Sam soon, and let's pull together as a community to, show our support for him. I think it's very important that again, we rally behind the creators that bring us so much enjoyment, and especially for people like us, those with high level IQs. This kind of stuff interests us, right? That's why we watch. That's why obviously they find it dangerous, because if we were just a bunch of dumb sheep that were watching these conspiracy shows and these alien shows and these mystery shows and these mysticism shows, then this stuff they wouldn't be coming down like this, right? It's the particular audience of these shows that concerns them the most, right? So, they say that to the mouth breathers, so that the mouth breathers go out there and parrot, da da da, you're a conspiracy theorist, da 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 da. I feel smart now. I said the magic word that they told me to say, da 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 da. But the reality is, if we weren't such an educated group, then they wouldn't care. They would put on our TV dinner for us to go buy, or tell us what shitty Applebee's deal is going on this week, and they would slap it right on this channel and rock and roll, and there wouldn't be any issue whatsoever. And so it doesn't really have to do with the shows themselves. It has to do with the people who watch them, is my belief. And so I think it's important that we as a community rally behind our creators, and offer whatever we can, whether that be in terms of, signing petitions, reaching out, to YouTube at the request of Sam and the cast. Whether or not there's services that some of us may have as legal professionals or copyright professionals, where we might be able to lend a hand in terms of providing some additional resources and helping to square this situation away. But regardless, I think I'm starting to say a lot of the same things over, so I'm going to wrap it up here. But I think we as a community can really come together and help in these kind of situations, and not just be like we see with the people so often on social media, this what I like to call the Rainbow Coalition 2.0, where they just that it's okay to just cancel people, like that's a strategy. And it's the old saying, what goes around comes around. These people that are practicing this cancel culture are going to at some point start experiencing it themselves. It always happens. This isn't something that it's just it's part of the divine plan. You do this kind of stupid stuff and it's going to come back to you. So let's see what we can do to help our fellow community members. And like I said, if there's anybody else that has experienced this recently, like last week, this week, I'm curious if the timing seems odd that it was this week, right before Thanksgiving and stuff. Again, it goes down to those psychological plays. I had a man worried, during Thanksgiving. It's what they do. It's the same reason companies let people go at the holidays, right? It's to just make them feel shitty, right? And to make the other people feel shitty. At the holiday time, you better come back, you better just shut up, eat your turkey, and get the fuck back to work, and remember, we laid Tim off, or as Ron Black would say, we laid Steve off, so don't you forget it. If we lay Steve off, we'll lay you off too, so you better just sit down, shut up, and do what we tell you. And that's kind of, what this is coming off as. And I hope that's not the case. I really hope that we hear something from Sam again. I'm starting to repeat myself as to what's going on here. But anyways, I think I'm going to wrap it up there because I am starting to feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over. And that's boring for me, and that's boring for you guys as well. The main point is, this is jacked up. I hope we hear something from Sam regarding this. I'm doing this video to kind of bring awareness to this because I didn't even know this was going on until I went to his channel today. And let's see if we can help one of our fellow community members get reinstated. Again, he does great work. His show isn't about anything other than bringing cool, weird, quirky perspectives on every kind of thing, whether that be politics, whether that be weird stuff in life, what have you. The weird strangeness. I mean, that's what it is. And that's cool stuff. And that has always been cool stuff. And there's tons of shows, all on YouTube that are of varying degrees of the weird strangeness. So again, I don't see any reason why they targeted him other than maybe he had prolific popularity, even though he couldn't see it with his statistics. They could probably see what they were blocking, no problem. I would love to see what his actual statistics were versus what he saw in his YouTube analytics, or at least what he used to be able to see in his YouTube analytics. So this is also important, guys. If you're running a show, running a channel, visit your analytics, but, print them out, so at least you have some hard copies of your data, in case something like this happens, so you can say, hey, up until someone else said that things weren't cool, I was kicking ass. And that way you can always say, well, I had nothing to do with performance, and that's the other thing. I mean, if he does have his analytics, if it's bringing in a particular audience, but it's bringing in large numbers of that audience, then, who cares, man? If he needs to slap mature content, that's fine. But again, I haven't seen anything that's super mature, just PG-13 stuff. And I've seen worse that's probably labeled for kids, for all you know. But anywho, that's it for me. This is Mojo at Mojo Returns. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Mojo Returns. And thanks again for watching. And I hope everybody has a great day.